Good morning, this is Robin from Art and Gifts, and this morning we will be painting this little Dollar Tree leaf. We're going to paint it with some blended colors, and I think it'd be a nice fall decoration. The colors we're using are orange, red, yellow, green, brown, and then black for the lettering. If you don't want to letter with a brush, you can use a Sharpie or a permanent marker of some sort, but please make sure that the paint is completely dry before you use a permanent marker, or it will ruin your marker. I have a couple brushes here. I have a maybe it's a 1-inch flat. I have an angle brush and then a liner brush. I have a palette. I use tinfoil over tray, but you could use a paper plate, or they have palettes you can buy at the store. Water, I've protected my surface. And then the little bow on here is optional, and it's not a traditional bow. What I've done is gotten a couple different colors of ribbon. I think I got these mostly from the Dollar Tree and maybe 1 or 2 at Michael's. And I've cut them to the length of 6 or 7 inches. And then what I do is I fold it vertically in half, and then the edges, and these are wired, which is nice. From the edge to the fold, I'm going to cut from the bottom of the edge up at an angle into the fold, and it makes a little nice point. Makes a little point. So then I'm going to stack these on top of each other. I've got some tulle in here too that has some sparkle, and I'm going to sort of pinch them together. And I'm going to wrap them with, maybe this is a 3-inch piece of one of the ribbons, and I'm going to sort of cross it over in the back. But before I fold them on top of each other, I'm going to put, this is just a bread tie. You could use a little piece of wire, but bread tie is what I had on hand. And then I'm going to twist this bread tie, making sure that these 2 pieces of folded stay together. And I'm going to twist that really tight. Sometimes it's easier to move the whole ribbon. Then, because this is wired, you can then shape this ribbon. You can sort of bend it, kind of curve it, and make it pretty. And it's just a little festive touch you can add to your decoration. It's a little easier than tying the traditional bow. Then I just use the twist tie to tie it onto the string that the thing already has. Now this is a small one. Let me show you. You can do this same technique on a larger door hanger size if you want a door hanger. Here I just did a pun. It says take a leaf of faith instead of leaf. It's just a little play on words. So we're going to start with the stem, which is brown. I also have water. I didn't tell you that. Oh, and let me tell you one more thing. Next week, next Monday, we'll be doing this little, it's a little pumpkin with like a witch's hat. I know there's a terrible glare out here. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to start with some brown and do the stem. This This is a little brush I got at the Dollar Tree. When I got this, I don't know how it'll work. We'll see. When you get a new brush, you always want to rinse it and pat it dry because they put sizing in the brushes. And that just takes out the sizing. So we're just going to do a little brown for the stem. Now we're going to add some green. Now you don't have to use these colors. I do recommend that you use colors that are next to each other on a color wheel. They will harmonize and blend very beautifully. If you use complementary colors, which are opposite on the color wheel, like red and green are opposite, if you try to blend them together, it's going to make like a muddy, dark color, which in small amounts is nice for shading. Like if you're doing, say, a Santa jacket and you want to shade under the arms or, you know, at the waist or something, you can add a tiny bit of green and that'll help you shade it. Okay, so now we're going to do some green on this lower. We're not going to use a whole lot of green. We'll just put some green down here. I'm in this bright, bright sun. It's beating down on here, so I'm going to have to move fast so that these colors don't dry on me and I can blend them. Now I've got some yellow. And I'm going to start a little higher. And then move down into the green. If it's not blending there, I can actually blend it on my palette and then add it. Now we're going to go into some orange. The other thing you might want is a hairdryer. Again, we're going to start a little higher. This brush from the Dollar Tree is shedding a little bit. When you get higher quality materials, they work for you better. Sometimes chip brushes shed, but that's the nature of a chip brush. So I've got a lot of green in that yellow. I'm going to come back over here and bring some of that yellow up into the orange. And then some orange back down into the yellow. Until it blends a little bit. And this is a very quick project. If the Dollar Tree doesn't have these anymore, because I noticed they had a lot of Christmas stuff last time I was there, you can Google leaf outline and print that, you know, and then trace it onto whatever you're using. You know, some watercolor paper or canvas or something. And then just do the same thing. I should have untied this. Yeah, this brush is really shedding a lot of hair, but I was just curious. So now I'm going to get some orange and come back up. We'll get them blended nice. like I say, you could. They have leaves. I think at Michael's they had little leaves, like an ornament size leaf. They'd be nice favors. Like if for Thanksgiving you could write people's names and put them around the table. That might be kind of cute. Here, fire. Now for your word, I put thank you. You could put welcome. You could put grateful. You could put hello, depending on where you're going to have it. But if you're not comfortable with your own handwriting, you can get into a program like Canva or Word, and you can blow up the letters so it'll fit whatever size you're doing, and then trace them on. I'm gonna wing it. I think I'm gonna do hello or maybe welcome. I'm not sure. This is almost dry. It's not quite dry. So you can go on your computer to Canva or Word, a Word document, and you can blow up the letters. You can do all sorts of fun fonts. I'm just gonna wing it today. I think I might put hello fall. The other thing you can do is use some chalk or a chalk pencil or a watercolor pencil to sort of lightly put it on first to make sure you have your spacing right. Let's see if I have one of those here. My husband borrowed my chalk pencil yesterday and I don't think I got it back yet. So I'm gonna totally wing it, but I recommend that you would maybe just lightly draw it out first, just for spacing. So let's see here, if I do hello, then I can do fall down here. Fall. I think I'm gonna do capital letters. And I think I'm gonna use black. Now for lettering with acrylic paint, you might want to water the paint down just a little bit. The trick is, when you're swishing your brush in the water, a lot of times a drip will form right here at the edge. And if you don't wipe that off with a paper towel, and then you go to draw, it's going to drip on your project. And sometimes that little spot is not fun to remove. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit of water. To make sure there's no little drip here. I'm going to thicken these down strokes a little bit. Just thickening up the down strokes, and we'll do fall. And there we have it. It's a little hello fall. And then we'll put the little bow on there. If you want, you can put the little bow on. And you have a nice little decoration for your house. I'm so glad you came today. Please come next Monday. It's going to be Monday next week because I'm going kayaking Tuesday. And we'll do this fun little pumpkin. And thank you for coming. Please share the love with your friends. Refer your friends if you think they'd like to see this and do a fun little project. This would be fun to do with the kids. And take care. Thank you for joining me.